That's good.
Okay, right. Welcome to the Parish Council meeting of the 12th of November. All members are warned that the notice is being recorded and also being filmed. Welcome and apologies for absence. We have apologies for absence from Tracy, who is recently a new grandmother.
Ah, that's what it was about.
That's what it's about. Yeah, she's, I think, in Newbury. Yeah, is that right? That's right. Yeah.
Can I pop in there?
Yeah.
You just said that you put the minutes that the meeting will be recorded and that we're being filmed. That makes it read to someone who was reading it from the public that the Parish Council was filming it. I think we should add to the minutes being filmed by members of the public.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's correct.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also, our District Councillor Donna is absent, CDC Councillor. Declaration by councillors of personal interest in items on this agenda. Questions from the public? No. Minutes of the last council meeting of the 8th of October. Someone would like to first. Second, Karina. Adrian and Karina, thank you. Matters arising from the above minutes not dealt with in separate items below. No. Number 6, Peter, WSCC Councillor update.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you.
Thank you, likewise. Glad to hear you're having a meeting in December. I didn't know that, so I will cross that out.
Could be an emergency meeting.
There are 3 or 4 things just to mention. I haven't heard any more about Fletcher's Lane at all. I know that there was a site visit, but I don't know whether that took place or has taken place or is about to take place. But I haven't heard. I don't know whether you either, but I haven't asked. So. But,
I think we're waiting for the highways. I'm still waiting for the highways. That's what they've not, but that's the big thing at the moment.
I suspect that they haven't done it yet.
Probably
Because if they had, I would have heard.
The lane is very.
So anyway, that's that one. Still on highways, I did forward, and I think you've probably seen it by now, that this major project of replacing the gas pipes, which has to be done. Steel pipes are out apparently. It hasn't been cancelled, it's been put off for a year, so it will come back in January 27, because the planning around, I mean, you can't do any time of the year because of holiday traffic and all the rest of it, so you're really looking at January and February, and so that period. So this one, there's so many problems of sorting out the bus transport, the scheduled buses, and also the school buses as well, the school bus into Chichester and the school bus to Chelsea. So that's really going to be quite major, and I don't want to speculate on what they're going to do, but it's something between the county council and the bus company and the gas company. But I'm not surprised that they're postponing it, because it's quite difficult to do, but they'll have to do it. What will happen is, as I reported before, is that the more southern section, still within Donington, but in the more built-up area towards the south, there are 3 sections which will be controlled by lights, so that will still be available, that will still happen. That hasn't been put off. And those lights will be human controlled during the daytime. So it hasn't been cancelled, it's been postponed it's got to be done. And that's sort of from upon high, no more iron pipes or that will be changed. You will have seen, or certainly Alison is aware, that the Highways Ranger is scheduled down here and is asking for any reports that you, or thoughts that you may have about hanging bushes or bridges or footpaths or whatever. And so please do report them, including the one about Becky's Lane. Report it again so they're all in one place. So if somebody else picks it up, they're all in one place. I don't know whether other people want to report, but that's what you can do. Anything else? I think that's it. There's something else I'll mention it, but yeah, I think that those are the ones. Yes.
Yeah. the roadworks for the gas has been entertaining the way it's been out often.
Sorry?
The roadworks for Stockbridge have been entertaining.
Well, I don't know if it's entertaining, there's something that's got to be done, and highways are certainly see through it, they're really going to be. Of course, the ones for you may not be that much of a problem, unless people go through Waltham Lane or somewhere and want to go to
Which we've been
Portsmouth.
doing anyway.
But otherwise, they will go to up to Wick and it won't affect them. But yeah, I wouldn't call it entertaining. It's a
Well,
major,
you know,
it's a
the way
major
this
problem.
thing has been changed
It's a
around.
major problem. But
It is.
to do without. Yes.
Are they doing the same project on the A259 that was there's works on there?
Well, not that I've been told about.
Okay.
Not that I've been told about. And if they do, it will be phased. It won't all be at the same time. But I haven't heard about that.
No, that's current at the moment, you say.
30-minute queue then.
They are. I've driven along there. They're doing it. They have these huge wheels with the yellow pipes, haven't they?
Yeah.
And so it's a major operation to do it. You know, they are
Yeah.
doing it along just close to Fishbourne, aren't they? Just like
That's right, yeah.
I drive past there quite often. Yeah. But I haven't heard that hasn't led to closing of the road. That's been light controlled. Yeah. So that one, Purchase Lane, and I said I haven't got anything else.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to say to the people, thank you for your verge cutting people, because I think they did an excellent job this time round.
Oh, good. You remind me of something else. Yes, good.
They cut it further back, it all looked neat and tidy.
Good.
Great.
I think they
Once a
do.
month is beautiful.
I think they do that once a year.
Didn't do the version for
Yeah, that's because it belongs to you.
Have you, I won't mention the name, but there's one resident who's been onto the county and to me about the gigabit connections in Heidi. Are you aware of that?
No.
No. Well, taking a step back, 2 steps back, in parts of the country, the nation, where commercial companies, operators, it's not worth their while to put in the infrastructure and to connect. There, in those areas, such as we have plenty around here, the ministry, the department, Department for Science, Innovation and Technology, DSIT, and they have an agency which is called Digital Britain UK, and that's an executive agency of them, and they take it on together with an operator, with a contractor, to introduce it, and that obviously is being funded, and that's going to take a while. So one resident has been quite vocal about it, and I've been chasing it, but it is not under the control of the County Council at all. You've got, Digital Britain, DB, Digital Britain UK, is the agency of the Department of Science, Innovation and Technology. And that won't start until 2030 in this area, I'm afraid. And where it gets done and how and when is outside our control. It is the Ministry of Digital Britain UK, which is an agency of the department. So in case you hear about it, that's what it is.
I'm informed the more people who raise the lack of fibre, effectively, the higher the profile becomes.
Well,
and
you know,
I think the
it's a-
school down there, and the amount of business we've got in the parish.
The priority will be worked out by Digital Britain UK, and obviously lots of people. The fact that people ask for it means you're on the list at all, but they're not in this part of the country at the moment.
Well, we've got it down
They're
in
in
Ham.
other parts.
I thought
Down in Ham,
I thought Selsey got
fibre down in Ham.
Look, we're not involved in it. All I'm reporting as to what's happening.
Yeah, okay.
There's not much I can do about it.
No.
We've got fibre to the box, basically.
Yeah, I know all of that. I know all of that.
We're obviously asking the wrong questions, Sir Peter. It's
I'm
nothing
not
to
blaming
do.
people.
No, I'm just saying he's obviously telling
I'm
us that he
reporting
can't
what
help
I
us.
found out.
Yeah, okay.
Whether there's a box on Chelsea, maybe there are more connections there, and one of the operators is prepared
I presume so.
to invest in it because there are a lot more people and businesses there. That's
Yeah,
probably the reason.
I presume
But
so.
it's in our more rural pockets, such as we have here, that the big operator is not interested.
Not interested, no.
And so therefore there is a national government agency to try and bring it there
Yeah,
anyway,
Well-
but that's going to take a little while.
we understand.
And I understand that down here it looks like 2030.
Mm.
Well,
To start. So that was the other thing I wanted to mention, in case you hear about it. The area mentioned is highly.
Okay.
So, unless you have anything else you want me to take away,
Are you anything on devolution?
I haven't got much of it.
Okay,
Except
fine.
that it is, as we are, particularly on the local government reorganisation, let's say, all arguments have gone in, we mentioned that before, they went in at the end of September. And what the government now have to do is issue their consultations. Nothing to do, we don't know what's going to be in it or when, but it will be, I think, it was going to be November, well, we're in November now, so probably still before Christmas, and then there will be questions being asked of the population's public, so the more people who reply to it, the better, and it will be advertised, and obviously County Council will advertise it as well, but it's not ours, it's the government who issue it. So then there will be however long that consultation lasts, and then the government will think about it, it's the Department for Housing and Local Government, that is. And then in March, we understand, they will then announce which solution of unitary they want us to implement. Whether it's one,
WSCC is one,
whether it's one single, which is
and
County Council,
CDC is part of the...
well,
the two.
all the other ones will say two, yes.
Yeah.
And there are pros and cons in the case of both. Yes. Yeah. So that's all we know at the moment.
Okay.
And I think there is not a lot more detail, except that I know that at some point our leader and the chief executive will be bidden up to London to come and answer questions, but that hasn't happened yet.
Okay, fine.
By the ministry. Sorry, a bit vague, but that's...
No, I'm...
Yeah. And you know there's going to be election of the mayor, that's the devolution bit, in May of next year.
Yes.
And that's separate but associated with the local government reorganisation. But that's May of next year, that's going to be. Second, I think it is.
I think Katie Bourne is the Conservative candidate.
She is, yes, yeah.
And I can't remember the name of the Liberal Democrat.
Somebody called Dempsey, I think.
Yeah, that's something like that,
Dempsey,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
I've seen his name somewhere. And
yeah.
the Labour have just announced it's a lady called Caroline Baxter, who was a Worthing garage owner, business lady, and she's also a county councillor. So
Right.
that's the Labour offering.
I had a name for a Green candidate, but I've forgotten.
That's just as well.
No,
No.
not being Chris now, Primrose. Anybody's interested, I'll leave my notes out. We had a very interesting meeting at Cadalc, and that, obviously, this was touched on.
Yeah. Was that the one that Katie was at?
Yeah.
She went to one of those meetings.
Did she?
Maybe it was the West Sussex one.
More than likely,
Probably
they had
West
a
Sussex.
date, there was a Bussell AGM.
It would have been that one,
In
because
Brighton.
she's
Yes,
covering the bigger area.
That's right,
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
with that,
I wish you a happy Christmas then.
well, I'll certainly do the same for you, but if you think of anything else,
Oh, I'm sure we will.
do let me know.
We will.
But do...
And thank you for your support throughout the year, and
well,
we are making progress.
we'll talk. I'm doing it. If you can think of any other footpaths in the past that you've had concerns about, you'll remember what they were. If you're still not satisfied, give it all to
Yeah.
To the highway
There is a
manager.
report, I think Paul Bedford is doing a report on the Beggars Lane situation,
Is he? Okay.
which will go to the Environment Agency.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want...
It'll obviously involve WSCC as part of the team.
Yeah, well, let the right the way ranger know as well.
Mm.
Please do.
Okay.
Yeah. With that, all right, if you want to go off to your friends in Burnham. Yeah, okay. Well,
Okay.
thanks.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay. Item 7. Unfortunately, the lady is absent. Go on. Yeah, come on, read it. by all means.
Donna obviously is not here, but she did say to me a note to say that the Melita issue, she's spoken with the planning officer yesterday, who explained that the barrister has recommended using the sequential test and not flood risk as grounds for refusal. I presume, and we are aware that was come back in our report. She also said that the local plan, we have until 2026 to find a few more sites, as it will be the 5-year land supply plus 20%. We are writing to the Minister to complain about the time frame given our land constraints. Sidlesham isn't impacted, neither is the manhood itself, so this is just for your information. And that's it. That's all she
Having
has.
said that, has impacted at the moment. There was a question of the development that was put through at North London,
Yeah.
which was done because it was in anticipation of the increase.
It's in the numbers.
So really, I don't take what she says totally as gospel.
No.
Sorry.
And it was in the countryside, wasn't it, because we were setting the boundary.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
So that knocks that one on the head then, we can cross that one off.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it, yeah.
Right. Okay, Norman. At number 8, Sidlesham Memorial Recreation Ground. Oh, incidentally, isn't there in that note that we have to pick up the local plan from Moorable?
Yeah, she said that they should drop off the local plan, a copy of it for us, from the Memorial Hall, so it may well be dropped in there.
Norman? Did you get that?
We've got a few items on the agenda for me this evening. We'll start off with the usual, if I may, and that is you should have in front of you the cash flow forecast for the current year. And this is relatively important because we've now got 6 months figures, i.e. we're halfway through the year. And basically the bottom line is that we've got a year-to-date surplus of £761, as shown at the bottom there. And that compared to the same time last year, when we were showing £49. So we're marginally better than, shall we say, we were a year ago. The other interesting thing is when you get to the half year, you start looking back, and for the 6 months previously, we had a turnover of credits, total income, of just over £10,000. And you see from those figures that the total income for the current year is nearly 15,000. So the income side is holding up extremely well. Therefore, turning to the cost side of the expenditure, the other positive is that a year ago the outgoings were roughly £10,000, and as you see from the bottom right-hand corner, it's about 11,000 this year, which is, I think, a reasonably good achievement so far. How it progresses for the rest of this year, only time will tell. And when I say that, it sounds as though we don't know what one is up to. Basically, we have less plays in the theatre, but as a contra to that, there's now things like Skittles coming along, and another long-term proposal is in the offing from a young lady who wants to get painting classes, etc. on the go. So watch this space. Are there any questions as regards the accounts for the current year?
Just a brief one,
Yep.
if I may, Chairman. Obviously, you just said there have been fewer plays and things.
Yeah.
When they are put on, obviously the people who put them on will be paying you for the use of the hall. Does the association get any share of the ticket money?
No, this goes back some little while, but basically we had a discussion some 12 months ago, and it was reckoned that each play should have a net income of £1,000 or above. In fact, I personally didn't follow that argument. The chairman that was at the time, Riak, said he would, and he did, support the proposal by saying, I will guarantee any shortfall of £1,000. In fact, the outturn was £300. And I have to tell you, I didn't hold him to his promise to make up the shortfall. But what one can see is that the outturn was actually nowhere as optimistic than the figures were being told to us.
Okay.
So I said we will therefore change from a share of the profits to a hiring out of the facility, and that's as it should be, because we shouldn't be in the risk-taking business. We should only be hiring a property, and in that regard, probably it's going to turn out less than 1,000, and hopefully more than 300. The downside so far is that 2 theatre productions have been cancelled. One because they didn't know the lines sufficiently well, and the other one wasn't. It was too soon to get it up and running. So we have lost 2 productions this autumn. We've got one next year. The date is being moved around, but basically it's in January, and that's Pygmalion. So that's firmly in the books, assuming that everything works out. And on that one, again, we only take the hiring fee. And when I say hiring fee, that also includes any read-throughs before the evening concern, etc. Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions on that? Okay. So let's move on then. The second thing is future goals and objectives. Now, some 2.5, 3 months ago, we had 3 sessions of the trustees, and arising out of those 3 sessions, I produced basically a strategy review, and it's only 2 pages long, and I'm going to hand these out. Basically, we're doing a strategy review, but it's a business which is only turning over 20 to 22,000 a year. So it's not like doing a 200-page strategy review for a major company. In this case, you've got 2 pages. So let's give those to you. 3.
Yeah. When they have in Cayman, you're charging for each evening they have rehearsals as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So those basically, one starts off with looking at the vision as to what we want to do, then what are the strategic aims of the organisation. And once we've established those, we then convert it into a business plan by setting out the business targets for the year in question. So that's basically what it's about. And you can see the headings, what we want to achieve as a business, and what markers we put down to achieve them. So, and of course, what happens then in the course of the year is you have a review of your strategy and see if your targets are being met. And if they're not, what are you going to do about them? So that's it in a simplified format. So you've had a quick look at it. I'm not expecting any detailed questions, but if there is anything I can answer, I'm happy to do so. Now, the next thing on the agenda, assuming I can move forward, is to do with rates. And this is really just to keep you in the picture as to what's going on. Our rates bill for this current year was just under £10,000, and there are 2 types of rate relief for charities, and we received both of those, and that meant that it reduced our rates bill from almost just under 10,000 to £1,100 for this current year. If you go on the website, they don't tell you, but I know this from the previous year, that we can go before a select committee, of which Donna is on that committee, and they will consider whether to grant full rate relief.
Yeah.
They granted that relief to us last year, and this year I have today filled up the paperwork. The paperwork is not complicated. What is complicated is finding where the form is kept, and it really is a nightmare to find that form. So I filled that form in today. It's called discretionary rate relief, and Donna will receive that paperwork, as will the other members of the working group, and they will decide the outcome as to whether we should get relief of £1,100, which is the net sum we are currently due to be paying. So what I'd like to tell you is that in a month's time, I should be coming here and saying we've now been allowed full rate relief and won't have to pay a penny, instead of almost 10,000. But who can tell? I've been in correspondence with the local authority over the past couple of months. I'm pointing out to them a letter they had sent to me 12 months ago. And in that letter, I pointed out to them, and this was a letter they sent to me in December 24. You will not need to reapply in April 25. The relief will continue automatically. And I pointed out to them, if that relief was continuing, we shouldn't be presented with a rates bill. And they said, the thing is the government changed the rates from 80% down to 75, and therefore that statement no longer held good. Mind you, it took them 2 months to reply to that, but that was the answer basically in the letter, which meant that I am where I am, which is to put in a discretionary rate relief, which in due course I hope to come back and tell you that we have been granted full rate relief for the current year. We shall see.
I'm sorry, I'm not still the chairman of that committee. I'll be more confident.
I didn't know you were.
I was for a long time.
Okay.
Well,
Right.
I think you got the money for the graveyard.
Okay. Any other comments or questions on that particular item? No, thank you.
Pretty clear.
Then, a couple of other issues. I think you wanted to be kept up to date with the licence between ourselves and the primary user of the football pitch, Infinity Football Club. It's been very, very difficult to tie them down to get an evening. It is now fixed, and
So far.
unless they go back on that, and they have already gone back on that, they couldn't come and had to cancel. So, with luck, we shall meet them next week, and
then tomorrow.
I'm sorry,
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. We shall meet them tomorrow, and there's not a lot of outstanding issues, but unfortunately the issues that are outstanding between us are likely to take up a bit of time. It's to do with priorities as to who should open the bar or who should open the cafe and under what conditions, those sort of things. So we're getting to the last thing. However, there is one I think I should probably add, and that relates to behaviour, because there was some adverse behaviour at last Saturday's game. I wasn't in attendance, we were away for the weekend, but I gather the police got called, and really I'm very conscious that we can't put our licence at risk. Martin, is that?
No, that's right. I was there, and the poor behaviour came from the Whitstable Tap supporters. The Infinity guys were fine, but if you're attacked, as they were, I'm sure we'll get a report tomorrow night from Infinity, and I suspect that they will be sending a report to the FA. But it wasn't that bad,
Okay.
relatively.
Okay.
We don't encourage any disruption, but it wasn't that bad.
I think the risk, Martin, is that when the police were called, then
Yes,
obviously
that's
there'd
right.
been a lot of drinking going on, and
Well,
consequence.
apparently the drinking and drugs were involved,
Yeah.
apparently.
Okay. So watch this space. Basically.
Watch this space. I think we should ask Infinity tomorrow night for their version and report.
Yeah. Quite. Okay.
Do we get any news from Infinity regarding their accounts? Because I know you've asked to see their accounts on numerous occasions.
I have done, and the trouble with football clubs is that they're not worth the paper they're written on.
That's a fact.
I'm sorry to say. So don't hold your hopes up.
You have been paid, you're up to date with Infinity,
I'm
more or less.
more or less up to date, yeah. I mean, obviously, we've just gone into November, so I haven't had October's paid, but aside from that, they are up to date.
And what about Chichester
Ch-
Girls?
Chichester Girls is an absolute nuisance, mainly because I suspect that they have changed the people responsible for settling their debts, because I've written to them twice and I've got no response.
Well, I spoke to the secretary of Chichester FC,
Yep.
whom I know, and he said he would talk to Wayne, who is apparently the person responsible for paying, to move it along. So if you could look before tomorrow evening and see if payments have come in, otherwise I shall take it up
Okay.
with Chichester FC again,
Well,
who is basically the umbrella organisation.
I've written to Alison and given her exact details of how much,
Yeah.
what date the invoice was sent out,
Yeah.
etc. And I suspect Mrs. Clements' name comes into it.
No, Commons is Bogner.
A Bogner, okay. Then that's one which is outstanding. Yeah. So basically, it's the Chichester group, and I think we're almost getting to the stage where if they don't pay, then don't expect
If
to.
they don't pay, they don't play.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
That's right.
Right.
Okay.
So that's.
We're missing 8.3.
3-month extension of
3 month, yeah, the 3 month extension, that was duly signed between ourselves and Infinity, and what I think we're here to do is you want to formalise.
Isn't the MOU between us?
Yeah, it is. I'm just going to correct.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right. Okay.
So
The MOU expires this month between the Parish Council and the SCA.
yes,
We are proposing that we grant you an extension of 3 months because there's a new trustee board in place
okay.
and things are now. Any thoughts on that? Let you
Sounds like the right thing to do at the moment.
take on.
Long enough.
I think with the new construct of the SCA, the lack of progress on the Infinity license, which is quite important to it as well. I think a 3 month extension is a sensible thing to do.
The trouble is, basically, 2 proposed dates have now been cancelled. Tomorrow's is the 3rd, and that date, it's important that we have Parish Council and ourselves there. And also people who have been involved in the detailed negotiations.
Yeah, all the good news at the moment is that the Devonshires, having left as trustees, is one obstacle fewer, because they were subject of animosity between the SCA and the football club. So let's hope that things can be ratified more easily than they have been in the past.
I'm hopeful too, mainly because I've never had any disgruntlement directly as involvement with them, so it should be clear that that issue
Yeah.
is no longer a
Anyway.
valid one.
Back to our problem. Do we all agree, and can we vote on it that we grant them a 3 month extension of the current MOU?
Yeah.
Sorry, just have a second there for somebody. Yes, thank you.
And the last one, I have to say I was a bit confused about, first with water.
Don't worry about it. It's us rather than you.
Right, in that case, that's my final.
That's your lot, is it?
That's my final.
That's your lot,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I hope it goes well tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
I think on the Infinity side, the committee, their new committee, is slightly more flexible than they used to be as well. So let's hope we can come to positive agreements.
Yeah.
Portsmouth Water. We had a meeting with executives of Portsmouth Water because we were concerned with the extra parking. We didn't want to incur any problems with the pipeline. And the meeting was very constructive. I found out that there were 4 valves hidden in the grass.
Sorry, for what?
Valves.
Valves.
Valves, yes, for switching on and off the water.
Okay, yeah.
So we established they told us there was a weight limit of 3.5 tonnes that the pipeline could support, which is okay. So basically, private cars could be parked on there for parking for football matches and other events at the SCA. And they've offered to provide us free of charge with a little palisade to protect the area where the valves are situated.
Excellent.
That's all.
Where is the area?
Pardon?
Where is the area?
Round, do you know, how we describe it?
It's
There's
behind-
a
it's
post on, there's a box on a post, go just on the right hand side. There's a box on top of a post, about 15 foot.
There's another post there that we thought was part of it,
Yeah.
but it's got electric to it.
But the
Portsmouth
valves
Water-
all, valves all,
Portsmouth Water says it's not ours.
valves all next door to that.
It's at the back of the Shopford residence, so the first house. It's behind the property.
It'll just neaten up the area. Actually, no,
Well,
very positive.
it'll discourage people from driving close to them,
Yeah.
injuring them, etc., because they have to be accessible in case of an emergency. So if we want to cut Celsius, for example,
There are some on the other side as well, the Selsey side.
pardon?
Are there some shut-off points on the Selsey side you could
I
drive?
assume there might be, but not on our field. There are 4 valves, of which we've now identified them,
Yeah.
found them, in
But
fact.
the pipeline runs
Right
at the back of the houses on either side.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, and across obviously Hughesfield.
half across Hughes' as well, yeah. Correspondence received?
Yes, a clothing bank that we talked about, we are going to do for a 3-month trial. I'm just waiting to hear confirmation of when they're going to install it.
Where is it being installed exactly?
At the Memorial Hall.
Where?
I haven't got that far yet.
To be determined
yes,
in
to be-
discussion with the SCA.
Yes, to be determined.
Very good idea. I shall fill it up immediately.
We are trying generally to get more and more people to come to use the Memorial Hall and the area. That's
So
what
how
we're
much
saying.
money do we get for having a clothing bank?
She knows it. She's forgotten it.
There are 2 choices. One that is dependent on the weightage, or you have a monthly rental. And we agreed to do a monthly rental.
Was it £44, something like that, was it?
Something, it wasn't an awful lot.
£44?
Yes.
It's something rather than
I think
nothing.
that's all right. I haven't got to feed it or water it or take it out for a walk.
That's right.
It does nothing.
We have the space.
What about when it gets emptied and they need the barrier key? What's happening about that? What arrangements have you made?
We are, that's in discussion at the moment.
To be decided.
Well, you need to make a note of that to actually
Yes,
sort
we
that
are.
I know
out.
she's
We are
not
aware
aware
of
of
that.
it.
And it is something that we are in the process of discussing and finalising.
There is a question, I know it's not on the agenda, about the painting that was done on the changing rooms. There is a lady has come and suggested that she can modify the paint on the changing rooms, Norman. Anita?
Yes, I know who you
Yeah.
mean.
Would anybody have any objection to remove the magic mushrooms, so-called,
None at all.
and replace them with, I think her suggestion was put poppies there.
It's for free. She's going to do it for free. She's not charging anything to
Yes?
Is it in the eye of the beholder that they are magic mushrooms, or is it a commonly known fact that magic mushrooms look like that?
Well,
If you've raised rising children, they're always mushrooms,
No,
always
no,
look like that.
Oh, that spoiled it. I thought all mushrooms are magic.
Fairy pots with the white spots.
Yeah.
Well, there
She's
are
got
people
loads of
who
painting.
associate magic mushrooms with hallucination and the rest. So I think it would be best to remove any indication thereof.
Agreed. They are actually the mushrooms from the Nintendo game, aren't
That's exactly what they want.
Oh, they are.
Children.
They are fairy tale mushrooms in my view, but
What's more appropriate, or not? I've often thought, actually poppies is,
It's memorial.
especially when we're standing there, was it yesterday?
yes.
Only yesterday, I thought that was a fair poppies. Quite nice.
The elves used to sit on the mushrooms. didn't
That's
they?
right. Yeah, of course.
Well, let's
You've
have
obviously
poppies.
never read Bagpuss.
I think it's
There's
time to
Bagpuss,
change.
Latin Bagpuss.
Okay.
Let's have poppies.
Well, I think we'll do that one more and see what happens and then think about the rest. Okay? Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeep lockers.
Okay, they are doing a site visit next week, and then they will come back to us with proposals.
Is this one of the parcel?
This
That's
is
the
the parcel
Yes.
collection.
I think it's DPD, isn't it?
Yeah.
And associates.
And associates, and there's a rental for that as well, and that's 1,000, depending on the number of lockers, but I'm assuming we're only going to go for one lot, it's going to be 1,400 per year.
Every little helps, as they say. Again, there are discussions about the barrier and things like that.
Yeah, you need to
The code of padlock on the barrier.
Sorry.
Coded padlock on the barrier?
And then you give these people the code. Just a suggestion.
Might be, because, yeah, I mean, it is becoming more
It's in the
frequently
same
used.
time.
I know you've always put that they lock
Yeah.
it behind them, but just a suggestion.
Yeah.
We
all right.
do
No,
have-
good idea.
We do have a problem sometimes of having that car park very, very full. And, you know, with these permanent lockers and clothing bank, I'm just thinking it will be additional permanent.
Well, is that car parking spot making you £1,000 a year?
I mean, there's an awful lot of cars that are there on a permanent basis because Shopfield people.
Is that car making you £1,000 a year?
Yeah,
No.
No.
Is that locker? Yes.
Yes.
There you go.
End of story. And in fact, the cars can park a long way up. I've never seen the area behind shop and all of it is full of cars yet.
no.
Well, that's where the parking, hence the discussion with Portsmouth Water, to make sure that, you know, we would be okay. And they've confirmed we are okay, as long as it's not 3.5 tons.
I think the only thing we need to keep an eye on, there's a number of cars which are parked there during the day. Well, I'm sure people are sharing rides into Chichester and things like that. Yesterday, for instance, there were a lot of cars parked up there where the people were absent.
Okay, that's a tricky one,
It is very,
because we've let that go.
yeah. So we just need to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Right, 9.3.
Till 3 hours.
A 9.3 letter from the MP for housing. I think you've all had a copy of the MP's reply, or the Minister's reply. We are in the process of formulating a response. We've had a very good input recently from Steve Tilbury, which actually arrived today. When everyone's happy with it, we'll circulate it to all the various parties interested, including our own MP, and keep processing and keep pushing.
Yeah.
Right, now, item 10, neighbourhood plan update. It's not you, is it?
I thought we'd taken this one out.
Oh,
Okay, we're going ahead with the neighbourhood plan. It's going to be in a very much reduced form. We're going to concentrate on specific areas which are likely to cause us problems, the way I read it, and that is mainly, as Trish mentioned earlier, the old LSA plots, which are being misused. We've got a lot of thought to go into it and how to address it. I think when Tracy gets back from her early days of being a granny, then we're going to sit down around the table and start discussing exactly what we can do and can't do. Again, getting advice from outside, and this is why we needed that little bit of extra in the budget to get some professional advice on how to phrase
I'm
it.
sure I've asked you this before, but you have seen the village design statement.
Yep,
From
absolutely.
many, funny enough, I just reread it all the other day because I was tidying up the bookshelf.
And
And it's a very good
it
document.
is very well
I've
written.
looked at it for 20 years probably.
no argument, it is a good document,
It's a
and it's
very
stood
good
the test of
document. Ed
time
and I
very
had a
well.
lot to do with that, didn't we?
No,
But, you know, we've got to bring it into the neighbourhood plan format
Yeah.
and the process.
Yeah.
And look at what we want Sidlesham to look like in X number of years.
You combine that with the Sidlesham Pastoral Precedent Colin Road and the cookbook that Mary put her recipes in as well. There's quite a history there. And I read it all the other, summaries of the other day, but no, it is good. And
Yeah.
No,
I've
no.
always said, and I know I've bashed on about it, that the ideas we had originally for neighbourhood were too big. We were writing our own local plan, and we were too ambitious.